The Blood of Vulkan are a loyalist, non-codex compliant Space Marine chapter of the Adeptus Astartes created during an unknown founding and of dubious origins. A bellicose and ferocious chapter, these Astartes have developed unique abilities that enable them to be nigh unstoppable in close melee combat. These abilities include pyrokinetic breath that allows them to breathe fire and the ability to call upon the inherent rage of their Primarch, making them unstoppable berserkers. Extant records indicate that the chapter has been around since the dawn of M36, descended from a classified genetic Chimera gene stock. The timeline of the chapter's inception, combined with the fact that their gene seed was genetically altered or mixed in some way, indicates that they could possibly have been created during the ill-fated 21st Cursed founding. The founding was plagued with rampant mutations and ill fortune, a result of the genetic tampering by the Magus Biologists, whose knowledge in the genetic arts were not as advanced as the Emperor's. Imperial scholars theorize that the chapter is descended from the genetic lineage of both Primarchs Vulkan of the Salamanders and Rogel Dawn of the Imperial Fists, in an attempt to stabilize the gene seed of Vulkan to lower the chance of gene seed mutations and quirks. Though circumstantial evidence indicates that the latter is in fact descended from the lineage of the angelic Primarch Sanguinius. The homeworld of the Blood of Vulkan chapter is the dead molten desert world of Loris 8XHO, located to the border of the Segmentum Solar and Ultima Segmentum. Notable campaigns: Unnamed Xenocidal Campaign, unknown date, M36. The first recorded campaign is when the chapter of the Blood of Vulkan cleansed a system of a hostile and small Xenos empire. It was this campaign that gave birth to the chapter's battle cry. Antius Campaign, unknown date, M36. The Blood of Vulkan's first and third companies deploy in support of the defense of the Forge world of Antius against an Iron Warriors Chaos Warband. The Blood of Vulkan fought alongside the Forge world's Skitarii Legion to defend the Forge world. Following the failed initial attack on the main foundry, the Imperial forces managed to push back the encroaching heretic Astartes forces, making them suffer horrendous casualties due to their relentless artillery bombardment and the Forge World's Titan Legion. Over the following 3 months, the Chaos Warband was defeated and fled into the Eye of Terror. Reclamation Crusade, unknown date, M37. The Blood of Vulkan, along with the Black Dragons and the Carcharodons chapter, fought back to reclaim several Imperial worlds that had rebelled against the Imperium. They intended to bring back the recalcitrant worlds into the fold of the Imperium or wipe them out entirely. The chapter brought many worlds back into the Imperium, including a fortress world with 8 of the world's loyalist elements, with minimum devastation. Purge of the Exodus sector, unknown date, M41. Following a massive warp storm that caused the Exodus sector to become cut off from the rest of the galaxy and the subsequent corruption of 7 chapters sent to quell the invading forces of chaos that later fell to the corrupting influence of the ruinous powers, the High Lords of Terra assembled a large Imperial castigation strike force to purge the chaos-corrupted chapters and cleanse the fallen sector. These chapters included the bellicose Blood of Vulkan chapter, the zealous Black Templars, savage Carcharodons, and unforgiving Minotaurs chapters. During the 40-year-long campaign, most of these Blood of Vulkan chapter defended and helped evacuate several Imperial worlds, while Chapter Master Nenka and the veteran 1st and 2nd companies assaulted the traitor forces. During the Battle of Sigis III, the Blood of Vulkan chapter fought against the Renegade chapter, known as the Bloodbearers, who were dedicated to the Blood God Khorne. With most of the world devoid of life from orbital bombardment and the remaining forces mainly located within the Fortress Monastery, the Blood of Vulkan launched an all-out assault against the Renegade chapter's citadel. A vicious battle ensued, but in the end, the Bloodbearers were utterly wiped out by the merciless Blood of Vulkan. The desolate and unforgiving desert world of Lorix 8XHO serves as the unforgiving chapter homeworld of the Blood of Vulkan chapter. due to the planet's active volcanoes erupting every year, forming lava rivers and lakes of metal-rich lava that have forges built around them to produce the chapter's armor, weapons and technology for the chapter and the Imperium at large. The truly habitable parts of the planet are the desert-sized continents that are known as the Great Dunes, and on the Sea of Glass Plateau is the Fortress Monastery of the Blood of Vulkan chapter, which doubles as a city from which the chapter derives its recruits. A regiment known as the Angelic Flame Regiment act as the local planet defense force along with the Fortress Monastery defenses, including Icarus pattern las cannons, a planetary defense laser, void shield generators to ensure extremely and near unbreakable durable defense. Known to the Imperium as the Forge, the chapter's city-sized fortress monastery houses 200,000 Imperial citizens, workers and regiments that help make up the planet's defense force and where the chapter derives its recruits. Underneath the city lies a system of bunkers, munition storage and vast tunnels that are utilized as emergency evacuation routes in case of planetary assault. Due to their strict adherence to the teaching of their Gene Father, members act kind, gentle feel to their subjects when they're not in combat, and when they do, they become brutal and unforgiving warriors. Even when saving a child, they'll have an unhuman roar as they breathe out their roaring fire, while still showing humanity to those around them, to the point where they treat a citizen of the Imperium as a battle brother from their chapter. The Blood of Vulkan chapter strictly follows the teachings of Vulkan to value life over pride and are willing to aid the citizens of the Imperium in any way possible, even those from other chapters and like their brothers in the Salamanders chapter. The Blood of Vulkan chapter believes that their Gene Sire lives and that one day they will meet their Gene Father. During the final rites of passage, neophytes are sent off into the vast desert with supplies with only enough to last them 8 months to survive the desert's intense heat and deadly predators that come out during the night. During these 8 months, each neophyte must collect a fang and the hide of a deadly dune hound that only comes out of the ground during the night of hunt. When the surviving neophytes return, they are recognized as full-fledged Astartes and inducted into one of the battle company's scout units. These newly inducted scout marines wear the hide and necklace made from their slain dune hound's fangs and in time are inducted as full-fledged battle brothers. As the scout becomes a battle brother, the individual Astartes will gather the liquid ore from the planet's lava rivers and forges his own weapon, be it either a custom bolter or a modified version on a chainsword with a custom appearance, each unique to their individual battle brother. Whatever the truth to the origins of the chapter's gene seed, due to the nature of the Blood of Vulkan chapter's chimeric lineage, the chapter has developed 2 unique genetic idiosyncrasies, including the pyrokinetic ability to exhale from their powerful lungs immense flames that burn as hot as promethium. To compensate for the use of this ability in battle, the chapter's artificers have modified their helmets so that the mouth grill can be opened on command in order to use this ability. The other ability that the chapter has acquired is their innate ability to call upon the inherent rage of both Primarchs, enabling a battle brother to become insane berserkers full of vengeful fury. This primarily happens under extreme amounts of stress and anger, allowing the Astartes to obtain a portion of the Primarch's strength and endurance. These battle brothers are organized into companies of insane, vengeful berserkers called the Blood Drake Companies and are used as siege breakers. The other noticeable gene seed quirk is that there has been rare instances that a few Astartes of the chapter have developed sanguine features and have taken on a beauty that echoes that of their angelic forebearer. When the Ultramarines Primarch, Rebute Gilliman, was resurrected and introduced the Primaris Space Marines to the Imperium, the chapter welcomed their new brothers and, as declared by Chapter Master Nenka, that the Primaris Marines would be treated as the standard battle brothers, despite the initial distrust towards the Primaris Marines, and Primaris neophytes will undergo the same rites and training as the regular neophytes. Due to Primaris Space Marines lacking the gene seed defect of the pyrokinesis breath, their helmets are modified to house built-in flamers to mimic the ability to roar fire at their enemies, and the first batch of the chapter's Primaris Marines didn't see combat until they passed through the rites, learned of Vulkan's teachings, and ascended to the rank of Battle Brother. From the genetic stock deranged from the Primarch Vulkan due to the high probabilities of mutation, the chapter receives the pyrokinesis breath, and some would view it as a curse, but to the chapter it's a gift from their father. The Primarch's Rage is the second gene seed defect of the chapter, and when it takes hold of one of the Battle Brothers, they are filled with their gene father's memories, and they become insane, vengeful berserkers, and obtain a portion of Primarch strength and endurance similar to the Black Rage suffered by the Blood Angels and their successors, hinting at the truth of the chapter's second gene father. In terms of members of the Blood of Vulkan, joining is very rare, and only few have joined the Death Watch, and they last a full century before returning to their chapter for reasons they keep to themselves, and they only tell their secrets to the chapter's chaplains and guards, and they guard those secrets to their graves.